Lost in the sea of the have and the have-nots. It's a war outside on the feedlots. I'm looking at us like, damn, we the robots. I'm looking at us like, damn, we the robots.
She goes walking down the lane. One more step to end the pain. And now they lift her up onto the crane and let it all wash out again. So step into what you thought you knew in a world so blue and so.
What's going on, Boosh? What up, Mike? What's going on? Drop some comments, drop some gorillas, drop some thumbs. Be like, hey, man, what's going on, man? What's going on, Daddy Swole? What up, D? I'm gonna make some sick fucking games. Gonna make some sick fucking games. Gonna make those SFGs, bro.
Lost in the sea of the have and the have-nots. It's a war outside on the
Cali Fit, Jennifer Lynn, Oliver, what up, Boosh? All of y'all are Booshes, you know that. You know you're a Boosh. If you're watching Daily Swole, that's like default. Default Boosh.
Now you've seen it face to face.
Making sick gains every fucking day. Getting yoked like it ain't no joke. Gonna get so fucking swole. Whoa, 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 whoa.
You thought you knew in a world so blue and so bright. Now readjust what's so obvious and is eating us from inside.
Don't back down, don't run away. Don't back down, don't run away. No backing down, don't run away.
All right.
Don't back down, don't run away. No
So I'll be damned. We got some good.
Don't back down, don't run away.
Gonna drop some good shit today. Gonna get started in just a couple moments, so come on in, drop some comments. Hello. It sure is. It sure
Still
is.
shaking from the cold air, like a queen in the
Eh,
crosshairs.
fucking bitch,
Still
guys.
screaming from the warfare.
Ah, the tit. The elevator tit. Good for you, Cali Fit. Cali Fit with the elevator tit. Congratulations.
Trying to figure how I got there. Had me screaming in my nightmare.
The song's fucking weird. I like it though.
From the cold air.
He's still shaking to the cold air.
Still screaming from
I like
the
these show. I like
warfare.
hip hop sometimes because you don't know what the fuck they're talking about. What are you talking about? The cold air. What are you talking about, dude? It's a good beat, but what are you saying? The fuck are you talking about? Hashtag every single song. And it's like the beat for the intro, but I have no idea why you're so cold. Put on a jacket, bro. Put on a fucking jacket. Let's go. Beaches, sluts, and hoes. Make those gains, beach.
The sun is shining.
Blah,
The
blah,
birds are
blah,
chirping.
blah,
The
blah, blah,
bacon
blah,
is
blah, blah,
sizzling.
Blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, yes, yes. Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Is this mic on? I believe it is. Testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 921 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and of course, you know it, the slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Beachcast. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I am so glad that you have decided to show up and I guess drop your eye gains on Daddy. Get that live chat up here. There we go. All right, everyone. Welcome to 981. Welcome to the Daily Sleazecast. If it's your first sleaze, drop it below in the comments. If you are a virgin, if I'm popping your swole, that's right. Yeah, you like that video? That gorilla video? He was scared. He was scared. He was fronting a little bit. Frontin' with Daddy. Let's see, Anna, Lynn, Mikey, what up? What up, bro Chacho? What up, bro Jackson? What's going on, Michael, Califit, Jennifer, King Tyler? We got J Plays. Woke up at the right time. Woke up. What time is that over there? What time you? Yeah, it's Saturday. It's Saturday. You sleeping in? Well, welcome everyone to those of you that are joining live on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you are catching the sick fucking gains in your eye holes or ear holes. Welcome, 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 welcome. We're gonna talk about food addiction today. Quote addiction, real addiction. Just want to talk about it, and we can ask some questions. Remember, let me just preface this episode with the reminder that tomorrow is the Sunday Fun Day Q&A. So tomorrow we're going to be. Tomorrow we're going into all that. Tomorrow we're going into all your questions, and I'm going to get to as many specific questions that you have to ask as possible. Some of them I'm seeing already. Some of them are silly. Some of them are stupid. But some of them are good, and some of them we've talked about before. But if you're asking more than once, either you haven't listened to that episode, but we can have that discussion. So what's great, tomorrow's episode, if you have never been to a Sunday Fun Day Q&A, everyone's discussing in the comments, and I'm answering questions that you have dropped under the post. And if you haven't seen it, just go to my feed on Facebook, go to my feed on Instagram, and you'll see the little emojis with the arrows down. Sunday Fun Day Q&A, comment below. All you do is you ask your question or your topic or what you would like to be discussed briefly tomorrow during the episode, and I will get to as many as I possibly can. And a lot of the questions, just so you know, if you're providing links or a video, hey, check out this article, so a couple people did that, check out this, or what are your thoughts on this? If there's like science and research that needs to be like gone over, I'm not going to be doing that. This is just going to be my opinion and my experience. So if I don't have experience with what you're discussing, I'm not going through these ahead of time and scouring the internet and doing like in-depth research before we do the Q&A. So literally when we do the Q&A is the first time I'm really taking a look at the questions, because sometimes it's a paragraph. I don't have time to look through tons of questions because I get DMs and all that stuff. I get so many messages. So tomorrow is cool because I literally see these questions for the first time. I don't do like prep work. I don't go and like sit in front of a fucking computer and just hammer away for 10 hours, like researching all these different topics. But it's my personal experience and what I know and what I'm aware of. So it's always interesting. I like it that way because it's fun for me. It's fun for me to see what you all are asking. And most often I do have an opinion or I do have experience with some aspect of it. But sometimes the questions can be very science oriented and that might need to be looked at in terms of through the lens of the latest research, which I will not have tomorrow. So just so you know, if you ask, it's going to be its opinion. You're here for Papa Swole. You're here for me. You're here for Daddy. The beard will speak. The beard will speak tomorrow. The beard will speak tomorrow. It's like Aladdin when you rub the genie lamp. I'm just going to rub the beard. Just rub the beard. And he comes out and he's like, hey, Aladdin, hear the sick fucking gains. Woo. Can you imagine if a genie came out of my beard? A genie came out of my beard. That'd be lovely. The beard genie. Just woke up. Aha, almost 11 a.m. What? Oh, you're a West Coast people because it's almost 2 o'clock here on the East. It's almost 2 p.m. here. Oh, did you work out today? I posted a couple things. Yes, yesterday, the gorilla video that I found. I was looking for, I'm like, what should I post? What should I post? I want to do something. I want to kind of do a throwback post. And it was from the zoo when I went last year, of course. Everything's last year. It's only the first week of January, but went to the zoo and saw the gorillas. And I was like, and I was grunting. Got a perfect shot. It was a perfect video. It was the perfect time. He was walking, doing, because if you go to a zoo, you know the gorillas barely fucking move. But this guy was on the move and got a really cool video. So that was fun. 5 a.m. in Australia. Yeah, it would be. It would be. It's also tomorrow, isn't it? It's also Sunday in Australia. It's weird. Isn't it weird how we all have different days or a day ahead? That's so weird. We're all in the same time, though. We're all in the same time and space. Like, we're all here today. It's today everywhere, so we have different days. That's so weird. That's so weird. Congratulations, Christina, starting the golf clap, everyone. Christina Danowitz starting day 1 of the 90-day dash. Congratulations. Good luck. Enjoy. Those of you that are in Swolenormous X in the private Facebook group as well, we have an accountability meeting on Monday at 12 noon Eastern time. So make sure that you are responding to that event in the private Facebook group. Those of you that are in Swolenormous X will be talking about the latest content release phase that's going to be launching February 1st, all the new releases that are coming, good shit. And when it comes to today's specific episode, addiction, food addiction. Now, I want to discuss food addiction from more of a conceptual standpoint, even though there's a lot of science that shows the similarities between drug addiction, like opioid addiction, and food and sugar, dopamine releases, all that stuff. I like to talk about food addiction from the psychological standpoint. Now, this is not necessarily, this is not going to be, how should I say this? I'm not getting into the whole physical addiction aspect of it because I believe that there are. I believe that there are physical addictive properties because whenever there is a physical result in the body, and I want to explain like this kind of logic, theory, just discussion, and you can drop it in the comments below. I'm using the term addiction, and I put it in quotes, not to insult people that have addictions, not to insult people that suffer from addictions, but from the psychological aspect of knowing you have an addiction or from calling it an addiction yourself. I think it's a very dangerous thing. And I want to explain that aspect of it because one of the things that we have to really give more, address more directly and more often is the impact of the language we use with ourselves, right? Our words matter. Sticks and stones will break our bones, but words can never hurt us. They can hurt us if we allow them to hurt us. It's opinion. It's opinion. It's your subjective opinion. It's your response. And when it comes to using words like addiction, that is a very, very powerful word. It's a very powerful word to use, the word addiction. And I'm going to start off this whole conversation by saying, if you say that you are addicted to food, you're telling yourself, not even telling me or your friend, if you believe that you are addicted to food, what does that do? If you tell yourself, if you think to yourself, you tell other people, whatever it is, but you use that language with food, oh, I'm addicted to food, I'm addicted to food. What does that really do? Whether or not it's actually physically addictive or psychologically addictive, what you are doing within yourself is you are passing the responsibility off from you. Okay? I'm not saying you're putting it on anyone, but what you're doing is you're relieving yourself of responsibility for what you put in your mouth. You are relieving yourself of responsibility for what you consume. By telling yourself and other people, by using that language that you are addicted to food, that you have a food addiction, you are now allowing yourself to be a victim. You are allowing yourself to, oh, it's not my fault, I'm addicted to food. Well, let me tell you right here that it absolutely is your fucking fault. Unless someone strapped you to a pipe and taped it around your fucking face and just pumped food in, you had no choice, had a gun to your head, you ate the food. Okay, so when we realize that, when we backtrack, I'm not saying that this food is good for you. Absolutely the opposite. I'm not saying that this food can't grab hold of you. I'm not saying that the insulin spiral and the dopamine release and all these things aren't going to fuck you up physically. They do fuck you up physically. That's why people are getting heart disease. That's why people have diabetes, type 1, type 2, and, hint, hint, type 3, Alzheimer's, and those types of things that they're discussing that's coming more and more to the forefront. There are all these physical results and, quote, they're not even side effects, they're literally effects, or all these results from eating garbage food. And that's because of that's the physical result. That's the physical manifestation of eating garbage. If you pour literal trash into the water, if you pour literal trash into a landfill, if you pour radioactive waste into the ground, guess what's going to happen? It's going to kill the life around it. It's going to kill the trees. It's going to kill the grass. It's going to kill the crops. What do you think is going to happen if you pour chemical garbage into your living tissue? It's going to kill the living tissue. It's going to kill the good bacteria. It's going to kill your cells. It's going to kill your muscles. It's going to kill your organs. It's going to fucking eat away at you. It's going to eat away at you. If you want to really make it more drastically violent, start pouring soda into plants instead of water. Try that. Experiment. If you have plants on your porch, just give them Mountain Dew instead of water and let's see how long they live. You're going to fucking kill them. What do you think is happening inside your body? Now, obviously, we can be resilient. We can last decades and decades by eating this crap, but our adaptation, our result is not a good thing. Our results are not good. Our results and your physical results and your physical adaptation to those foods are a manifestation of what you're consuming. You have gained tons of weight around your stomach, around your thighs, because your body has done all it can to adapt and to deal with what you're putting in. And that's the result. Everyone's going to look a little different. Some people can handle it better than others. We know that. Some people can eat fast food and still stay relatively lean. Doesn't mean it's healthy. Doesn't mean that their insides are good. It's just the manifestation can look different from person to person. And that's where it gets fucked up, because a lot of people think that, oh, I'm not gaining weight, I'm still healthy, I can get away with it. That might be physically, superficially true. I think we would agree with that. And drop in the comments if you do agree with that. If someone eats food, it's very easy to look superficially and see, oh, they're not gaining weight, so they can eat tacos 3 times a week. They can eat McDonald's because they're not gaining weight. They can eat Taco Bell because they're not gaining weight. It's just like looking at someone that has a Lamborghini and being like, oh, that person's happy. Oh, I wish I had that. That person's happy. We know that's not the case. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're happy and satisfied and you have a well-fulfilled life. Just because you have abs and you're lean or you're not severely obese doesn't mean you're healthy. It's a superficial look. It's a superficial interpretation. You're not getting the whole picture. All you're doing is you're seeing, are they thinner or are they more round? Oh, that person's good. Not necessarily. They might not directly have issues from being obese, but they're going to have issues from the lack of nutrients and from the crap that they're pumping into their body. So it's just that same superficial effect that we are looking at someone that has money or that has whatever and thinking that they're happy because they have money, because that's what we see superficial. That's what we see from the outside. When you look at someone from the outside with nutrition, it's the same thing. Vincent Martinez on Facebook, I feel like that's why we see a lot of old people in the gym. Some of them have been doing it all their life. I feel like others are in there now because you're trying to stay alive because they treat their body like crap for so long. Yeah, a lot of people do that. And it's great to see older people in the gym, but a lot of it is too little too late. And it's going to make a difference. If you're older and you're listening to this, or you have parents or grandparents, it's always going to be a benefit. It's always going to be good. It's always going to be excellent to start moving. But to reverse that type of aging process and to bring that back, to rein that horse in, you're not going to all of a sudden have all the mobility in the world. You're just going to slow the descent because you didn't set this up ahead of time. When do we go to the doctor? We go to the doctor when we're sick. That's what's fucked up. We do whatever we want. We do whatever the fuck we want. We eat whatever the fuck we want. We eat whatever the fuck we want as a society until something breaks, and then we go try to get it fixed, and then we get medication. It's because we think that the doctor and the medical system is what takes care of our health. No, every moment that you spend before you go to the doctor, before you have a problem, that's you. That's your fault. That's your issue. I don't even blame the medical system for you going and them giving you medication. What are they going to do? You've already fucked it up. You ruined it. What they're supposed to come over and feed you and teach you, you got to fucking do this yourself. That's why the parents are so important in this equation. That's why society, and that's why what we are doing here on the podcast is important, because we got to start from the ground up. The doctors are supposed to fucking heal people. They're supposed to like help people get better. If you have pain, they want to take your pain away. If you have a broken bone, they want to fix it. If you have this, they're going to high cholesterol, they want to, or whatever, their intentions are to reverse the issues that are perceived to be occurring. It's your responsibility to do the steps to prevent them from happening in the first place. So by the time you have a problem, not that it's too late and you can't fix things, but it's too late in the sense that you already have a problem. I'm not saying that once you have high blood pressure, you're dead, it's over. No, I'm not saying that. But from a problem standpoint, when you have an issue and then to go get it fixed, it's like it's too late. You already have the issue. Why not focus on fixing the issue before it even starts? You have to take care of these things before they even manifest into a problem. It's preventative maintenance. It's preventative. It's being healthy. It's being proactive with your health. That's where hopefully medicine, it's not even medicine. It's not even medical. It's overall wellness. It's wellness coaching. It's wellness education. It's doing this in the schools, not feeding kids chemical garbage. It's parents taking responsibility and feeding their kids the way they should be consuming food. No, but I want pizza. Fuck you. Go get a job, 9-year-old. Go make your own fucking money and buy your own fucking pizza. You're going to eat what I make you. And no, For the record, I don't have kids, but fuck you for anyone that's using it as an excuse. Feed your fucking children the food that they should be fucking eating. It's your job to raise them in this world and to teach them and to give them the best things that you can. If they want to leave your house and then eat whatever they want, it's their life. You can't control them, but you can teach them properly. You can give them no alternative. They're eating this. And then when they get out into the real world, they're going to make their decisions anyway. You have to fucking teach them young. You can't be giving them treats and shit. They're not fucking dogs. You have to teach them really. You have to be super strict. You have to be super strict because this world is not going to give a fuck. You can't keep them in a bubble. You can't keep your kids in a bubble. You can't protect them. You have to be extreme. You have to really teach. You have to parent. You have to really parent because once they leave your little nest, they are going to be exposed to a hailstorm of fucking trash and garbage. And they need to have the right equipment in their brain and understand what that food is made of. You have to educate them. It's not a joke. It's serious. They're going to get sick and they're going to die. Everyone's going to die, but they're going to be really poisoning their bodies if they don't know any better. Oh, I remember when mom used to get me this after we used to go to this blah, blah, the park. We used to always go by McDonald's and all this. Yeah, they're going to remember that and they're going to have a good relationship or good memories of that crap. I understand it's the bonding with you and your child. You don't have to go and feed them poison in order to bond with your children. Yeah, lots of truth bombs. Lizel Mraz, yes, well said. You wouldn't feed your pets soda and donuts, so why would you feed your kids junk? Isn't that interesting? You'll feed your, even dog food and cat food, a lot of that stuff is crap, but let's just say that is the food that the cat should eat, right? I feed my dog real food. I feed a dog, it's 100% grass-fed beef and beef heart and beef liver, and then a little bit of mashed sweet potatoes mixed up in it, a very small amount just for some carbs and stuff. But when it comes to your pets, you wouldn't feed them soda. And what's funny is if you put soda out there, they probably wouldn't even drink it. They wouldn't eat a lot of this stuff. And a lot of bacteria doesn't eat it either. That's why those things, fast food, that's why it stays looking good for years because it doesn't decay. But you wouldn't feed your pets garbage. You would feed your pets pet food. Yet you feed your kids everything and you feed yourself everything. And don't forget, those of you that are parents, your kids see everything that you do. When you cheat, when you eat garbage food, if you're a hypocrite, they will notice that and they will see that and they log that and they keep that in the back of their mind and they remember next time you tell them, don't be a hypocrite. Lead by example. Lead by example. Remember, they want to be like you. They want to look like you. They want to be an adult like you. They want to be like mom and dad. So show them what mom and dad fucking does. My parents and grandparents taught me nothing about nutrition, but that's the problem. And I'm not saying it's even their fault, but this conversation wasn't around. They didn't have social media. They had the news and the government giving them fucking lies and bullshit. But I'm saying now there's no excuse. Now there's no excuse not to give good information. I do understand and I'm sympathetic to the older generation in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. You didn't have the internet. You had to go, and even when you went to school for nutrition, they didn't teach you the right shit because the information wasn't around yet. They were just learning. So everything was extremely biased. You only got your news and your resources from the newspaper and a couple channels on the news. So they didn't have the information. All of us today, we have the information. Everyone has the information. Everyone has the information. So there's no excuse not to parlay that or to give that to those that are around you. You have the information. There's no excuse to not know. You have all of it. You have access to all of it, all sides of it. I work in dentistry and I see all the time parents not taking responsibility for their children's diet. What do you mean, Mary? What do you mean? And I believe you, but in what sense are they not taking responsibility? I'm just here munching on my sweet potato. It's my boy, Colton. What up? Corey Hunter, it's sad, too, how TV shows and movies depict ice cream as antidepressant and to get over pain. Oh, yeah, when everyone's like sad in movies, they just sit there with a big thing of ice cream. Yeah, I mean, all these things, don't forget how kids, a lot of you that have kids, you know how impressionable they are, right? They'll act like you. They'll swear if you swear. But we're impressionable, too, as human beings, as adults. We see in movies, we see those things. We don't necessarily consciously think, oh, that person's depressed and they're eating a big container of ice cream. Next time I get upset, I'm going to eat a big container of ice cream. We don't think about it consciously like that, but it gets cataloged. It gets kind of, stacked up and put in the back of our brain. And we associate that with how we want to emulate or how we're going to act once that happens to us. It just gets cataloged. It gets cataloged. It's crazy. You're welcome, Vincent. Go get your sick ass pumped. So whether or not food is physically addictive, and I do believe that if there's a physical effect, it's going to have that addictive property. And yes, there's a psychological effect, and it's your body will adapt to anything. Your body will adapt to anything. So the simple strategies to get out of this to get out from under this excessive weight, to get out from under this just overbearing food industry, is to really take responsibility for your own health. Stop buying these foods. One of the greatest hacks that you can do is, okay, you make a list. It's a classic thing. You make a list and you only buy what's on that list. What's amazing now and what's excellent now that Walmart and all these other places are doing is you can order your food online and do curbside pickup. I want to really start pushing this because other companies are trying to compete with Amazon. They're probably going to fail miserably, but we'll see what happens. I would recommend ordering food. If you have a real problem and you're really trying to make change, I would recommend ordering food online and doing something like these curbside pickups or delivery. What you do is you eat a nice healthy meal. You eat your nice healthy meal so you're full. You make your list and then you place your order. You go pick it up. You do it when you're full. You don't go shopping when you're hungry. You don't order food when you're hungry. And you only order the food that you need to eat. Like we talk about here on the elimination. You're not ordering all this crap. When you go and pick it up from the store, you're not going in the store. You're not going to be, this is going to be a huge, not a huge risk, but this is going to supersede those end caps, right? All those little displays. You walk in, you see all the Doritos, 50% off in the front. They put it right in the front, that display for Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday, they're going to have all the chips and salsa, that big display right when you wake in. Then you drive up, they're going to bring your food out, and then you're not at risk for all those temptations when you're going shopping hungry. So many people shop hungry. I joke about on my Instagram story because the gym is right next to the supermarket, but I am way past having those cheats. When I go in and I get the food I need to. I'm starving, but I don't if anything, I overbuy the things that I want to get. I don't go and I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry, let me get these chips. No, because I'm to that point where it doesn't affect me anymore. But you have to build that relationship. Your food addiction is that relationship. It's that psychological addiction. Yes, I believe that there are physical addictions too, but it's more of the psychological, what you allow in. What you allow in. You can't allow this stuff into your house. If you have it around you, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to eat it. You're going to eat it. This is what you're addicted to. You're going to eat it. And you can't. You can't fucking eat it. It's not going to help you. You have to stop depending or being a victim in your own house. That's really bad. To be a victim in your own house when it comes to food, you're going to be a victim in your own fucking house. When you go to your fridge, you're going to see things that are going to sabotage you. It's because you're bringing it into your house. Why are you bringing that into why the fuck are you bringing it into your house? You're going to complain about cheating and eating. If it's not there, you can't eat it. So I think that's one of the greatest things that people don't really do yet. I'm sure it's going to get more popular. I saw some ad for Walmart and a lot of other supermarkets do it too. And I think that's important. I think if you order, you eat first, and then you order, and then you go pick it up. You don't even step foot in there. You don't have those temptations. You don't have those desires to get all this crap. I'm sure what they're probably going to do is when you're ordering food, they're going to ask add-ons. Would you like to add this? They're going to have specials and coupons right there that you can just tap a button and they'll put it in your bag. But you can avoid that and just not opt for that. But you have to do it when you're not hungry. You have to do it when you're full. And it starts with getting rid of these obvious foods. It stops when you're getting rid of sugar, all these grains, wheat, gluten. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. If you have issues with your hormones, especially, get rid of the gluten, get rid of the wheat, get rid of the grains, get rid of the sugar and the processed dairy, get rid of the processed carbohydrates, get rid of all the breads, get rid of all the pastas, get rid of all these things that are sending fruit juices, sodas, get rid of all these things that are literally just poisoning your body. It's poisoning your body. And if you order these foods and order the right foods and you do it online, especially when you're not hungry, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get the foods that you need. You're not going to have access to the other ones because you didn't purchase them. And then you go on with your life. And eating healthy is cheaper than you think because you're spending so much extra money on nutrient lacking foods. You're eating a lot of volume. You're eating a bag of chips. There's no volume and nutrition in that. A bag of Doritos is like $5. And when you eat a bag of Doritos, $3.79, $4.79, whatever it is, there's no nutrient value. You're getting nothing. You're getting inflammation. It's negative nutrition. You're getting no quality macros. You're getting no quality micronutrients. You're getting a lot of volume that's spiking your insulin like crazy. And you're going to be hungry soon after, because once your insulin, everything crashes and your body realizes, I didn't get shit from that, you're going to be hungry again. So then you overeat calories, and then you have to go find real food. But a lot of times you just fill it with more garbage. Let me see. Daniel Roboski, our grocery bill was cut in half when we started the elimination diet. LOL. Well, you're eating better foods and you're cutting out all the crap. And then, I mean, it's common sense. It's just amazing how people think it's so expensive. It's actually not, because if you're eating quality foods, you're not eating the same amount of volume. It usually even balances out, or you actually spend less money. Oliver, I spent $28 last week for my week's food prep. That's insane for one person, bro. That's nuts. Yeah, I don't like brown rice. I don't think you should be eating rice, period, in general. If anything, you could have some kind of white rice, but I would recommend doing some kind of like sweet potatoes, low net carbs, high fiber. Especially when you're starting off, you know, I mean, you need to get those micronutrients. There's a lot of stuff that we need to cover, a lot of bases you need to cover with nutrition until you have to, like, you know, really get a little bit more granular with your elimination. You can kind of tweak things down the road, but it's important to get your micronutrients. I'm not going to be telling you to go vegan or go carnivore, but you need to get your fiber in to aid your digestion. Most of the experts will agree that fiber is important, especially when you go with a high fat diet, which is beneficial. I love high fat. You're so satisfied. I get questions about snacks all the time. I don't understand. I don't eat snacks. I'll have some olives if I want a snack. I'll have some, I don't snack. If you're having high fat, you're eating a ton of high fat and quality saturated fats, you don't get cravings. You get hungry, but for a meal when it's time to eat, you don't really get these cravings for snacks because you're so satisfied. It's very satiating when you have a real high quality diet. It's insane how pregnant women eat everything. The food that they eat literally transforms into the baby. Yeah, pregnant women, they use that excuse. Pregnant women use that as an excuse. And most people, you know, they eat for two. I'm eating for two. That's such bullshit. No, you're not. You're eating for one, and your body gives food to the baby. You don't eat for two people. You're not supposed to gain 60 pounds when you're pregnant. Most people just don't do it right. You just feed into the hormones, and plus they're surrounding themselves with all these toxic lotions and perfumes, and there's all these things in the environment. It's why kids have, I mean, it passes right on to the baby. That's what, you know, with autism and all these like ADHD, all these issues like cerebral and brain issues, it comes from food, from, you know, from the parents and from the food that they're fed. They're finding that out more and more all the time. Beef, sweet potatoes, chicken, kale, broccoli, Kerrygold butter. Nice, Oliver. I can't food prep because it always tastes like ass when you reheat it after 5 days. I eat food cold all the time. I don't know what you're eating though, but my food tastes delicious. I'll make food. I'll make like my grass-fed, you know, meatballs and stuff like that. I'll eat that for several days. It's delicious. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Don't know what you're talking about. No idea. Let's get some more questions over here. Oh, let me scroll up. We've been ordering our groceries and it's the shit. Nice. I like ordering food. Remove as many of the temptations as possible until you are strong enough on your own. Agreed. Kayla, I remember going to middle school and lots of kids would eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I remember eating I used to have Pop-Tarts at times. Come on, everyone's had that junk, but when you realize that, you're like, fuck, I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't. Yeah. There's a question that I missed. Someone was asking about, I don't know if I missed it. Someone asked me about diets or nutrition. Someone asked a question. Where is it? Just kind of scrolling up a little bit. Is there somewhere we can find your list? Find my list for what? I have some blog articles on the Gain Train on my website. And I think someone asked about Swolenormous X. Do I do meal plans and this and the other? I have my Nutrition Jumpstart series, which walks you through the elimination process. And plus we have an entire recipe archive. You know, we have for breakfast foods, entrees, desserts, and beverages and all that stuff. So there's tons of recipes. And this is actually the dawn phase of this year. So the new content releases on February 1st for Swole Enormous X members. Going to be a bunch of virtual trainers, a bunch of new workouts, and a lot of new recipes for this content production phase. That's exciting. But those of you that are in Swole Enormous X, I'll give you all those updates Monday during our accountability meeting. After high fat, I'm still craving carbs, then you might not be doing it right. And how long have you been doing it? Everyone thinks that you're going to cut carbs and you're going to be eating high fat, and all of a sudden after a couple of weeks, you're going to feel you're going to have these cravings for a long time. You're eating all these things for 30 years. It doesn't go away in a couple of weeks. So you might not just be eating enough calories. You might not be eating enough quality fats, maybe not the right kinds. You might not be getting enough fiber, not enough volume. So there's a lot of different options, but I can't tell just by that one comment. So you're undoing it. You're undoing it. That's what comes back to the addiction, the quote addiction. You're undoing these habits. You're undoing what your body's been exposed to. And if your body's been exposed to carbs, a lot of carbs for all your years, which most people are because it was demonized. Yeah, 5 months. Okay. I don't know what your diet is, but you're not doing it right yet. It's okay. It's okay. Not that you're not doing it right yet, but you might not be. I don't have those cravings. Most people that eat a sufficient diet and have got their shit on lock, you don't have those cravings anymore. And it depends on when. There's a lot of different factors for that. A lot of times if you are dehydrated, you'll crave food and you'll crave carbohydrates, but it's not the same thing. Your body is just thirsty. So there's a lot of differences and subtleties. I don't have the details. I don't know exactly what you're eating, Sean, and I'm probably not gonna be able to find out all here, but the details of what you're eating, that's going to be a huge difference. That's going to make a huge difference from person to person. So the quality of the foods you're eating, it's not just fat, it's what type of fat. It's not just, I'm eating meat, but what kind of meat. There's a lot of different factors when it comes to cravings. But don't forget, there's psychological cravings and there's also physiological cravings. There's a lot that goes back. There's a lot that goes on in the body and the brain, and we're still figuring all these things out as well. What I can tell you is I do know what it's like to want carbohydrate, but I just have like a sweet potato and I'm fine. And I try not to have too high with the net carbohydrates, but that's really all that I do is when I want some carbs, I'll have my sweet potato. I try not to like pound those, but I have a lot of vegetables and a lot of healthy fats. I just tons and tons of fat. I love it. I love it. Just feels so good. Feels so good. Feel so fucking good. And it's great to feel. You should feel satisfied. You should be full. You should be satiated after a meal. You should be. If you're looking for snacks and you need snacks, chances are you're not satisfying your caloric needs when you're eating. You're not eating the right ratio of foods. It's very common to not eat enough. It's very common to, especially when you start eating healthier, it's very common to not eat enough because you're used to the volume. Okay, you're used to the volume of, let's go extreme, of chips, of empty calories. So then all of a sudden you're eating less volume, more dense, and you're not used to eating that kind of food. Your body is adjusting the ecosystem, your gut biome is shifting over to your new dietary habits. So of course you're going to have this clamoring from your gut brain axis that's going to be telling you, I'm craving carbs, I'm craving this, because your body's used to it. But also the digestive aspect. That's why when people do these extreme dietary shifts, they go from eating all this carbs to doing keto or this to vegan. Sometimes you get bloating and indigestion because your body is shifting gears. You don't have the tools in order to efficiently digest those foods. So these gradual shifts and eliminating and not going to these extremes will usually allow your body to adapt, but it takes some time. What about the opposite? What makes me want to starve myself? Huh? I have no idea what you're referring to. You mean anorexia? What do you mean? What about the opposite of what? What makes you want to starve yourself? That doesn't sound good on any aspect. I usually only have cravings when I'm PMSing. I swear the hormones are my own personal sabotage. Yeah, but you can't blame it on that. You can just say, oh, it's the PMS. Well, every woman menstruates. So what are you going to just blame it on that? So you have your cravings, but you still got to eat the right foods. And eating the right foods and removing all these toxic aspects of your environment will help your cycles be less violent as well. If you're eating a lot of crap, it's going to accentuate and really fuck up your body more, especially when you're going through those types of changes. That's exactly what I do, Oliver. I couldn't stand eating cold sweet potatoes at first, and now I eat it like an ice cream cone while I'm driving. That's so exactly. I did that before the show. I love it. I love it. More resistant starch, less impact on blood sugar. Fucking love cold sweet potatoes. I love it. If you haven't tried it, you got to try it. Are all your healthy fats come from your beef? Absolutely not. I'll have heritage pork bacon, tons of olive oil, avocados, olives. I love olives. I love Kalamata olives, and I love garlic olives as well. Grass-fed butter, MCT oil, coconut oil. Oats on the menu or not? Nope. No grains, no wheat, no gluten. Get a punching bag. It helps to beat the shit out of something. Oh, you guys are getting angry. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. don't get violent. Here's one. Okay, Alicia talking about the elimination. First week of elimination diet, I felt great, but I've been feeling pretty tired and achy the last couple days. Is this normal? Maybe detoxing, not enough calories. It could be normal. I mean, so are you saying you're within the first week? Tired and achy? Yeah, that's generally normal. You could be dehydrated. And don't forget, if you're not drinking coffee or whatever, your body is going through some changes. You're going to feel like sometimes you got hit by a truck. It's very common, for example, when people start doing high fat or ketosis, they get like keto flu because their body is kind of shifting over. There's a lot of withdrawal type symptoms when you cut out a lot of these foods because of the impact on your brain chemistry and the impact on your body chemistry. A lot of these changes can be very, very severe or feel severe, and they manifest themselves maybe sometimes in headaches or just feeling kind of groggy because you're shifting what you're feeding your body. Now, it's always good to be monitored by a medical professional. You know, I'm just going to put that out there for legal reasons. I'm not a nutritionist, but I also wouldn't trust the most nutritionists that you can fucking hit with a stone. Right, I trust them as far as I can throw them. I can throw a nutritionist pretty far though, especially the tiny ones. But you have to take control of your health. So when your body shifts, and you can Google this, it's like any kind of withdrawal, you're cutting out a lot of shit. So your body has to adapt to the new foods you're consuming. Your body has to get used to it essentially. Kayla, here we're going to follow up with the not eating. It's like the opposite of food addiction. The thought or smell of any food makes me sick sometimes, and the desire to eat is gone even if I'm hungry. Kayla, I still have no fucking idea what you're talking about, dear. I would love to discuss this, but I still don't know. The smell of any food makes you sick? You mean junk food? You mean bad food? I have no idea. I do not know. I mean, if I smell garbage food, like fast food, I get nauseous or I feel gross. Sometimes you smell a neighbor cooking or something, like, oh my God, that fucking, someone microwaves food at work or something. You're like, oh God, it's gross. Ugh. But for actual food that you like and that is good for you, I've never had that. I've never gotten sick from the smell of food that I liked. I know what you mean. It's like any bad smell. If you're smelling something that's gross, you're not going to want to eat, I'm sure, if that makes sense. But I don't know what you mean if you're talking about in terms of just food in general. But again, reminder, those of you that might be tuning in now, tomorrow is Sunday Fun Day Q&A. So super stoked about that and very, very willing to go into some of these things in more detail. So here's the thing. Here's the deal. And we'll talk about this in closing. For the Sunday Fun Day Q&A, make sure that you drop a comment on the post in my Facebook or Instagram feed, okay? That's the one with the emojis, the fingers pointing down, Sunday Fun Day Q&A. It says, please comment below. Pretty obvious. I just posted it today. So what you need to do is drop a comment or a question in the comments, but make it as detailed as possible. Because if you ask, how can I get abs? I'm not even going to answer it. I'm not even going to address it. A specific question, if I have a good answer or I have an opinion, we'll get a specific response. If you ask something very general, it's going to get a very general, vague, if I even answer it, because if you just ask, hey, how do I lose weight? Boring. We have so many episodes that can cover that in so many different aspects. So don't ask general. Try to ask something that's specific to your needs that can really help you out. That way I can provide the most help. So the more detail you can provide me and the more specifics, the better. Okay, I think that makes sense. If you ask a more specific question, I can give you a more specific response. And it's something that is really powerful. These episodes are very, very beneficial to everyone because when you listen and tune in, even if you didn't ask a question, which I think you should, you ask a question or something, a topic that you want to discuss. But a lot of times people will ask something that you never thought to ask, and it could very, very well help you. And it's usually every Sunday is the topics just range from anything that's on people's minds. So every week it could be more nutrition based, it could be more training based, it could be more psychology based with program design or something. It's all up in the air. So whatever you ask, it makes it very contextual because it's what you want. It's what you want to hear. And I definitely recommend, if you're not tuning in live, to absolutely check out the episode. Drop a comment, drop a question. That way you can hopefully learn something that maybe you didn't expect or you never thought about before. So really cool episodes, and everyone always DMs me and messages me and how much they love them and stuff like that. So I'm super excited to drop a comment there. And Kayla, easily a psychological issue. Well, it's definitely a psychological issue. I'll think of a better question to ask about it. Kayla, why don't you do this? Why don't you reformulate that question more specific and then drop it in the comments on in the post on Facebook or Instagram. That way I could address it tomorrow, but just make it more specific. Is there a max amount of questions you can put? I usually go for the first questions first. So you can ask a question. I mean, ask a couple of them. If I have time, I'll go through them. But if you ask 10 fucking questions, I'm usually going to try to get as much variety and as much from different people as possible. But you're more than welcome to ask more than one. Just separate them or spread them around if they're different, especially if they're different topics. Okay. So if you have 1 or 2 questions or 3 questions, don't just put them all in one big blurb, because the longer the paragraph, just letting you know, the longer the paragraph, the less on the live show that I'm going to be able to like get context from. If you write me a freaking book, I'm going to skim most of it and I might miss some of the context from the question. So just try to keep it as short and succinct as possible. That way I can read it on the show and then answer it as efficiently as possible. So I'll see everyone tomorrow. Make sure you go drop your comment, ask there, and that way I can answer as many as I possibly can tomorrow for Sunday Funday Q&A. And also, those of you that are in Swolenormous X, remember accountability meeting Monday, 12 noon Eastern time in the private Facebook group. If you are interested in some free workouts, some free nutrition content, and the latest leg workout, make sure you go check out the Gain Train blog on swolenormousx.com. You can also find out more information about the specials and memberships at Swolenormous X, the private membership site. So you can go there and check out all the details on joining the private community. But I'll see everyone tomorrow for episode 982 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thank you so much for joining me. See you tomorrow for Sunday Funday Q&A. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swole. Out.